Here we are once again to another installment of our Pokemon Red Nostalgia playthrough. So, in our last video, we managed to beat Misty very quickly, very efficiently using Pikachu after we caught him in Viridian Forest and raised him up, and we got ourselves the Cascade Badge. So, we can continue on our journey. Now, I'm not going to lie, I spent a little bit of time after that grinding up just so I could, level up some of my Pokemon. I was able to get Abra from level 12 to level, I think, either level 30 or close to level 30, and get Kadabra there, leveled up Mew, leveled up as much as I possibly could before my arms kind of gave out. But I managed to go into this little house, if you remember. This is where Team Rocket came and caused all sorts of trouble, and took the TM for Dig. I took out the Team Rocket member, I guess, who's sitting out here in the back, and beat him up, took him down, and managed to get the TM for Dig. I don't really have any immediate use for it, but I've got it in my party right now, or in my inventory, I should say, and I don't have cuts, so I can't make my way over to the power plant, which actually I would need Surf for that as well, so we're still a great deal of distance away from there, but I spent all my time down in these grass patches down below. I didn't, if you recall, there's a little cottage down here that there's a gentleman in there that I think either is like trading or something like that. I honestly don't even remember because I didn't go inside this house. I just ran through and just grinded for a couple hours raising up my Pokemon. Let's just take a quick review and see exactly where we are. So, Pikachu at level 30, Charmeleon level 35, Kadabra at level 30. Okay, I didn't get him that far. And then Mew at level 30 and Pidgeotto at level 31. So Pikachu evolves with a Thunderstone, which I have yet to get. I don't have that yet, so it'll be a little while before we can evolve Pikachu, but you can be certain that I'm definitely going to do that. Charmeleon evolves into Charizard at level 36. I purposely grinded Charmeleon all the way up level 35 and then pulled back just to make sure that Charmeleon could then evolve on screen, or at least in a recording that I'm doing, because I want to share that moment with you guys. Now, Kadabra is going to be the hard one just because Alakazam is only obtainable through a trade, so I will have to find a means of trading out Kadabra and then trading back in order to get Kadabra to Alakazam. But if not, Kadabra is still a really powerful Pokemon, so if I don't end up doing that, I'll still have Kadabra here through my party. And then Mew. Now, Mew ended up learning, I believe it was Metronome at level 30. So we've got Pound, Transform, Mega Punch, and Metronome. So Pound is what we caught him with, and then Transform, then Mega Punch, and Metronome, and so on, and that's where he's at now. Pidgeotto evolves at level 36 as well into Pidgeot, I believe. So we still have a little ways to go there as well, but we still have a pretty powerful lineup between who we're going to be facing between now and taking on Lieutenant Surge here in Vermilion City. Now, keeping that in mind, Lieutenant Surge does have, if I remember correctly, a Pikachu, a Raichu, and maybe an Electrode or a Voltorb or something like that. But those Pokemon, they know Thunderbolt, so there's going to be a problem there. But for the most part, we should be okay. I mean, we don't really have, aside from Pidgeotto, we don't really have any major drawbacks to the Pokemon that we have. Pikachu won't be really all that great because Electric and Electric's, and it's a draw, it's a wash. We're just going to out-level him, but I don't really have anything special for Pikachu except for Swift and Quick Attack. So those standard attack moves should do a little bit of damage, but Pikachu's probably going to be severely underpowered even if he's over-leveled a little bit, so he's not going to be the one that we want to use against Lieutenant Surge. Charmeleon's going to be the greatest advantage here. Kadabra, I think, learned... Oops. Aw, shit. Damn it, I just did the wrong thing and teleported back. Son of a bitch. Okay, well, Kadabra knows Psybeam now, so I can use some attacks there, and I think he knows either Disable or Confusion. You know what? Let's double check because I don't remember exactly. But the good news is that Kadabra is actually useful in battle now. So let's go ahead and review that. Teleport, Confusion, Disable, and Psybeam. Okay, so Kadabra, as you can see, is extremely powerful. The only thing that I really want to obtain as far as a special move would be Psychic, and that will be a little bit down the road because I think it's like level 48 or 45 or something like that where he learns that technique, and that's arguably the most powerful attack in the game. So that being for Kadabra makes him really powerful, and Mew can learn it too, but again, Mew, it's going to be really far off for that because Mew only learns a new move every 10 levels, 10, 20, 30, 40, etc. Pikachu can't learn Thunderbolt on his own in Pokemon Red and Blue, but he can in Pokemon Yellow. However, we do get the TM from Lieutenant Surge to get Thunderbolt, so I can definitely teach Pikachu that. I'm going to keep Pikachu in my inventory, and then Raichu. Now, I don't recall if Raichu knows Thunderbolt or can learn Thunderbolt or not, but we'll figure it out. This guy want to trade for a Farfetch'd. I feel like that. Like to me to raise one. Oh, no, I don't want that. Get out of here. I don't want you to raise one on Pokemon. I don't care about that. But then we talked about this before. Charmeleon, Charizard doesn't know Fly, so we need to make sure that we keep a flying Pokemon in our party. In this case, it's going to go ahead and be Pidgeotto. What do we got? Do you have Nidoran? Want to trade it for... No, I don't want to do that. Get out of here, punk. Okay, and then here's this long-ass thing. I feel like there's some hidden items somewhere in this long tunnel as well between cities, but I don't remember. We have to find that that item locator, if you remember. And then I think there's something in the cave here. But I just hit the A button when I'm walking as often as possible, just so I can find something if there is something on the ground. Yeah, the things in the ground path. Okay, so now one of the other ways too, and again, just touching base on this once more, if you ended up missing out on the Mew ability, there are some trainers here in this next patch, in this route, that will allow you to do the Mew glitch as well if you wanted to do that. So that is definitely a possibility if you felt like you kind of got gypped by missing out on that, and you're, you know, after Misty at that point, you've taken on those other trainers in Route 24 and 25. So you can definitely do it down here too. Do some research online and you can find that. I'm not going to go into that anymore. But, you know, whatever. You get the idea. Okay, so let's see. What Pokemon do I want to put out first? You know what? Let's go ahead and do Charmeleon for now, just because I want to build him up, and I want to transform into Charizard as quickly as possible. Presumably, or preferably, rather, I'd want to get Charmeleon into Charizard, hopefully before we take on Lieutenant Surge, but I don't know. 3,000, yeah, it's going to take a little while. Yeah, I grinded my ass off trying to get them up to these levels at this point, but there should be some trainers in the grass here. Yeah, there's that guy. We'll go ahead and avoid him. There's one right down, yeah, these two. We can avoid them. This guy you can't avoid. He has a wide gaze, so even if we go all the way over to the water, he'll still see us, so we might as well just face this guy. But yeah, there you have it. So we're going to focus more on the game here, providing some commentary, strategy, and stats and whatnot. Lieutenant Surge is going to be a very difficult trainer. And then after that, if I'm not mistaken, should be Erica with the Rainbow Badge, which is going to be Grass type, unless they're 5th with this. I always get that mixed up. I always forget if it's Erica with the Rainbow Badge or if it's Koga with the Soul Badge. I'm fairly certain Erica's next, and then Koga and the Soul Badge. But be that as it is, I guess we'll just have to play and figure it out. So forgive me if I have a little bit of a cold, but we're going to make it through this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and flip off the camera so we can focus on the gameplay, and I'll pop in every now and again with additional camera, like, commentary or whatever. Okay, whatever. You get what I'm saying. All right, so focusing back on here, Butterfree. This is the first time that we've seen, and we have now defeated Butterfree in a single solitary attack. Pretty good. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Yeah, I'll have to take out both of these guys. Ideally, my Pokemon lineup, it kind of emulates a lot of what our rival ends up with. The rival, I mean, aside from... I mean, he's ultimately picked the best Pokemon that you can have in the game. Alakazam, Exeggutor, I think it's either Gyarados or Lapras or some BS. And then Arcanine, who's one of my personal favorite Pokemon. And then I forget if he's got like a Rhydon or Nidoking. I might be getting that confused with Giovanni. But, I mean, he kind of rounds out all the best Pokemon that there is. I mean, since we didn't choose Squirtle, he wouldn't get, you know, Bulbasaur and then move on to Venusaur, which is kind of a punk Pokemon at that point. There's plenty of opportunity to find something that's elemental superiority and advantage over Bulbasaur. So, you know, if we got Squirtle, then I wouldn't really worry too much about it, because we can catch Magmar. Well, actually, no, that is kind of a while before we can catch Magmar, but whatever, you get the point. Having any type of Fire-type Pokemon, I think Vulpix is a Blue exclusive, but we can catch Growlithe eventually, and that's, I really, really want to catch a Growlithe, so once we get to that point, then I'll be really happy about that. But I'm just thinking about finally once we can beat through Pokemon Red and we can jump over to Pokemon Crystals, what we're going to do next, I think, maybe Gold or Crystal, I haven't decided, then we'll be able to get some of my most favorite Pokemon, period, like flat out, including Pokemon like Scizor and Skarmory and Umbreon. Some of my absolute favorites. Scizor has got to be my #1 favorite, as you can see from my YouTube header. Definitely love Scizor. The combination of Dark and Steel and Fighting-type moves and a couple of Bug moves here and there make him super fantastic in a variety of battle types. So, but anyways, let's just go ahead and run through and just plow through these guys as quickly as possible. Charmeleon, like I said, is going to be the one that's going to take us through Lieutenant Surge. I have yet to actually have a Pokemon that has fainted, which is a big deal, because it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't plan on having any of my Pokemon faint, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a Nuzlocke, sort of. But Charmeleon is the one that if he did get knocked unconscious, I probably wouldn't, like, follow the Nuzlocke rules there. And I know there are some very specific Nuzlocke rules that says you can only use Pokemon, like, in a certain area, which makes the Pokemon games a bit more complicated and challenging. But for me, it's not really all that important. Like, I want to catch and use my favorites, and if they get knocked out, then that's a problem, and so then I just have to get rid of them and catch another one and move on, which, you know, all the Pokemon that I have in my party aren't really too difficult to obtain and level up. It's just grinding and making them more powerful. Abra was I don't know, debatably the most difficult, just because Abra knows only teleport up until he transforms into Kadabra at level 16, and then once you get that, then you get a bit more of a leeway in power there, because I mean, having Kadabra on your side and all the Psychic type moves that he knows, I mean, Kadabra is one of those Pokemon where his special attacks are absolutely just destructive and will just take down anyone. And that goes for every game, by the way, not just Red. Like, as you move on in the games where the battle mechanics become a little bit more complex and rely on strategy, then, yeah, you'll find that Kadabra will still be a powerhouse, and Alakazam even more so, and then Mega Alakazam beyond that. But since they, you know, Abra and Forward, all the evolutions have a really, really weak defense, that, yeah, he just gets his butt kicked. Fighting type is especially, and Psychic is also his weakness, so that means that while Kadabra does and Alakazam both do really high amounts of damage, they also take a crap ton of damage, so you want to make sure that you do your moves as quickly as possible and swift as possible and go first and take them down. Now, I don't have Surf just because I didn't set this game up in the same way as I have in the past, but for those of you guys that were unaware, to the very east, the direction I'm facing right here to the right, just outside of view, we can't see it otherwise unless we surf over there, there is a truck. It was something that was going to be implemented in the game but just never got used, and depending on how programming from a perspective in that regard, the truck itself took more to remove from the game than it did just to leave it there. So just to kind of save memory and save time, there was a truck that was left over to the right side of the SSN on that land over there, and there was a long rumor since when I was a kid, back in the 90s and later, that suggested that if you had strength when you were here and you pushed that truck, then Mew would be under it. And I can't tell you how many times I spent, or how many hours I spent trying to figure out if there was some specific way to get that truck to move. It just didn't work. There was just no way. And then we found out, like, oh, that wasn't the purpose. That wasn't the intended purpose. There's no Mew under it. Mew is only obtained if you happen to play the Pokemon trading card game, or if you did any Pokemon competitions, and you got a reward, which was if an official Nintendo employee would have given you a Mew. But since then, people have found that there Great Ball. It's the only thing I wanted in here was this Great Ball, actually. People found that there was some exploits that you could use in the game by manipulating the binary like we did to catch Mew here, and then of course Game Shark, so Mew became, you know, less and less rare, less and less elusive. Pretty much everyone I knew at some point had one, either the semi-legitimate way that I caught him, or through, you know, illegitimate means. But whatever the case is, I'm here just to catch my favorite Pokemon and use them in battle as much as possible. Now, if I can bypass all these trainers, it's not really that big of a deal. I don't really care too much to spend some time against these guys. I'm at a decent enough level, and I want to make sure that I can get through this playthrough kind of quickly, just because there's a lot of stuff that we got to do, and there's a lot of games that I have that I want to get to, and while I love Pokemon Red, I love Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal even more. Now, there was a thought that I had that after I beat Red, I was going to jump into Yellow, but I was like, no, it's too similar, just spending my time in Kanto. I want to jump over to Johto, so I think we're going to do that, and that's what we're going to do. So I just got to flip a coin if I want to do Gold or Crystal. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Okay, we should fight our rival right here before getting cut. There we go. Yeah, we're going to fight this guy right here, and then we're going to get cut from the captain of the SSN. Sounds like a German Reich, but whatever. And then we'll use that to cut through the weeds and get ourselves over to Vermilion City Gym Leader and take on Lieutenant Surge and kick the crap out of his Raichu, Pikachu, and whatever other Pokemon he's got. Alright, Blue wants to fight. Looking scrubby there, Blue. Alright, what do we got? Level 19 Pidgeotto. Yikes, you don't stand a chance, my man. I have been waiting for this. Oh, you gotta move first? Yeah, he's probably much faster than me, but I'll tell you, all the grinding that I did, I mean, my Pokemon are buffed up. Do you even train, bro? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, trust me, that sounded just as douchey to you as it did me saying it. Shit, what Pokemon did you send out? Raticate. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, okay, for those of you guys that are unaware as well, by taking on Blue or Gary or whatever your rivals, Raticate, and beating the crap out of him, when he gets over to, I think is it Lavender Town? Correct me if I'm wrong on that in the comments below, but the town that has all the ghost Pokemon in the graveyards and junk, we basically caused his Raticate to die, and, yeah, our rival hates us for it. Alright, yeah, see, this is what BS is that he gets a Kadabra and then he ends up getting it to evolve as an Alakazam. Only your rival could get your Pokemon that require trades to evolve by sheer level. Such BS. Yeah, we're going to switch Wartortle just because if he gets a good hit, he'll knock out Charmeleon, and I don't want that. Even with his level disadvantage, Oh, level 20. Okay, maybe not that bad. But he could do some severe damage to us. I'm just going to use Pikachu just for the safe side and Thundershock the crap out of him. Wow, after a switch and we were able to attack first, Wartortle is down. Alright, there we go. Yeah, see, we were able to bypass all this. There's a few items that might be of benefit in the SSN, but it really doesn't matter. At this point, we can just level up our Pokemon and get the attacks that we're looking for, and we can progress that way. But all I really wanted here was Cut, and that's all that we got. Record time, we can just run through all this. Alright. Cool. Yeah, give me the damn cut. Yep, thank you. Cool. Yuck, shouldn't have looked. Alright, sweet. So let's see if we have Pikachu. Let's see, Mew is the only one that can actually no cut. Actually, no, I take that back. Charmeleon can as well. I remember regretting that before having Charmander learn cut, but I am not going to sacrifice. You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and use the HM anyway. And we're going to go ahead and use it. And we're going to go ahead and teach it to Charmeleon. Let's see. Yep. What is it? What can I get rid of? Growl? Yeah, get rid of that. It's not that big of a deal. I figure, I mean, what? Since he can't learn Fly, and that's an HM, might as well just give him Cut for now, because I don't want to catch a crappy Pokemon that can learn Cut. There's no reason for that. I'm not going to have another Pokemon just for that specific reason alone. But there are Pokemon I like or dislike. Ultimately, someone's got to know Cut, so might as well just teach that to Charmeleon, and then Charizard will know it, and then I'll get him to know Flamethrower and Ember and Slash. Those are the moves that I really want him to have. Alright, so the SSN is done in world record fashion, just powering through, beating the crap out of our rival. We can move on and we can take down the Vermilion City Gym Leader, Lieutenant Surge, and his legendary Raichu. Now, I do really hope that I can somehow get a Thunderstone sooner than later, but I don't actually know where I can get one, so I'm going to do some research in my off time for that. But at this point, if we just head right on over, we can set this up for our next installment of the Pokemon Red Nostalgia playthrough, where we can take on Lieutenant Surge in the Vermilion City Gym and get ourselves the Thunder Badge. Let's go ahead and cut this out. Wait. Oh, I forgot. In the later games, you could actually select on items that you want to cut, but in this case, we're not able to do that. We actually have to go in and, like, select cut. So we have to go to Pokemon, we have to go to Charmeleon, we got to do cut, and whatever. Stupid. Okay. Alright, so having any type of Paralyze heal and taking on and having some potions will be good. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get through these damn switches. This is going to be a pain in the ass, but if you remember this puzzle, this is one of the more obnoxious puzzles in the game, but I kind of like it. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys for hanging out and checking this out as we took on our rival and we've helped out the captain and got cut from the SSN. I'll end it and wrap it up right here, and I'll see you guys in the next installment of our playthrough, where we're going to take on Lieutenant Surge and see if we can get our Thunder Badge. First try, fingers crossed. Alright, Pokemon trainers, I will see you later. Take care, and be sure to like, subscribe, and all that typical stuff if you want, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.